The following program is furnished by K1 International, LLC, and is responsible for its content. Now, from the 5th floor Cumulus Studios in downtown Dallas, it's time for Inside Real Estate. Here's your host, Michael Kruizinga.
Good morning, Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Welcome to your Sunday morning, and welcome to Inside Real Estate Sports Entertainment with Mike Kruizinga, your host and your local DFW area realtor. Hope you're having a good Sunday morning. Hope you make this part of your every Sunday morning, as we always say. And, you know, we always talk about a little bit more than just real estate, and we get into politics and all kinds of fun things. And we're going to have a fun show for you today. Hey, by the way, if you are actively thinking about real estate, I want to encourage you to download the app, which can be found in your smartphone store, Apple or Droid. Just search DFW Metroplex Real Estate. Boom, you got the app right there on your phone. So if you're out looking around at houses, you want to know, hey, is this house on the market? Is it not? Is it sold? Is it under contract? What's going on with it? Fast-moving market, so you want up-to-the-minute updates. Hey, download the app, and that'll certainly help you out. By the way, website, InsideRealEstateRadio.com, InsideRealEstateRadio.com. You can connect with us, all of our partners on the show, catch up with them. And if you want to talk to any of our partners on the show, by the way, today, feel free to call in, 888-787-KLIF, 888-787-KLIF. Hey, what are we doing today? We're going to be talking with Richard Tonica over at Goosehead Insurance. He's going to be here live in studio. In fact, he's here right now, actually.
Good morning.
There you go. Good morning, Richard. And, of course, Terry Wagner from Supreme Lending Rockwall is going to be in the studio with a little bit later in the show. And so we're going to have a fun, good old time. You know, last week, Richard, we talked about, we just kind of ranted about Jordan and LeBron. And, of course, LeBron won. And that was your team that you were rooting for.
No, it wasn't my team, but out of the whole series, I think I saw about 3 minutes of actual basketball. But I thought it was ironic that the Warriors came back from a 3-1 deficit and then got beat after being up 3-1.
Yeah, Golden State fell asleep and thought they had it in the bag. Yeah, who would have thought? But you know what you said last week, you know, for the city, for Cleveland, I'm happy for them 100%.
Well, you saw the documentary on all the bad things. I mean, as a Dallas fan, I think we've had a string of bad luck from time to time, but our string of bad luck is nothing compared to Cleveland.
Well, I think our bad luck is called Jerry Jones. But moving on. Hey, a little bit of real estate right quick. By the way, folks, all over the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we've been seeing these wild and crazy signs by the street corners saying off-market homes, saying discounted homes, you know, call us, you know, we've got all these homes we bought low and sell you low and all this nonsense. And it's just sort of somewhat pre-printed and then a handwritten phone number on the sign. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think a sign that's got a handwritten phone number on it, do you think that's professional? Do you think that's a little shady maybe? Look, folks, you know, there's nothing easy, quick about anything. And when it comes to buying and selling real estate, do you want to call somebody that's got a handwritten sign? It looks like a garage sale sign is what it looks like.
Absolutely. And I see those signs all over the place, and I am just amazed that anyone would call that.
I am too. It makes no sense to me. Like there's some secret, you know, stealth inventory of discounted homes that are off market and that only we have access to. The guy who handwrites his phone number into it. No, that's not out there. It's a scam of some sorts. And there's all kinds of scams. There's I see these signs all over the Metroplex, and they're different ones with different phone numbers. And look, folks, there's scams, okay? If you want real estate, you want to buy real estate, you want to buy investment properties, whatever the case may be, you just need to get, honestly, bottom line with a realtor and not, you know, get caught up in one of these scams. It's
absolutely.
It's crazy. Let's go to some headlines, see what's going on out there. We talked about this a couple months ago when the Playboy Mansion went on the market. And we said, hey, this was really weird and unique because Hef said, hey, it's for sale, but guess what? I get to live here until I die. And so we talked about that, and sure enough, it is pretty much sold. It went under contract anyway, actually to a neighbor, Darren Metropolis, and Metropoulos is Greek origin, of course. And he's going to take that thing over, and he says, fine, Hef, you can live there. I mean, until you die, which was part of the contract. Very, very unique. He bought the property next to Hef in 2009 for $18 million, but Hef's place was listed for $200 million. The final price was not disclosed, but it looks like it's under contract to Metropolis. His dad used to own Pabst Brewing, by the way, and he was sort of a Greek gazillionaire, if you will, his dad. And so that is looking to be the new owner of the Playboy Mansion. And, of course, the Metropolis Group, they own the Hostess brand.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that Pabst was a Greek company.
No, it wasn't, but they owned it at one point. And Pabst is still around. We did a story on Pabst before because they opened up a small little shop, a small little office here in the DFW area when we were doing stories about companies moving operations to Dallas and whatnot. And Pabst, I didn't even know was still in business, honestly. They moved a small little operation, only about 30, 50 employees, something like that, here to the DFW area. And so they're still around.
Oh, I've tried it myself. I thought it was pretty good, but, like you, I was amazed that they still sold it.
I know.
It was a friend's father, and that's still all he drank.
Exactly. It's grandpa's beer.
Yes. Now, I wouldn't go out and buy it myself, but, for a free beer, it wasn't bad.
If it's at the, I guess, very bottom of the shelf in the corner, and there's like two of them, What else is going on stories-wise? There's a lot going on. I guess the Brits are thinking about getting out of the EU. It's not final, of course. Probably 2 years of negotiations if they move forward with it. And then, maybe 10 years to fully get out of the EU, if that's ultimately what happens. But a whole storm going on in Europe of countries thinking about, hey, well, if Britain's going to pull out of the EU, maybe we will too. But oddly, Scotland saying, defiantly, no, we want to stay in the EU. Pretty wild and crazy over there. It's not something I would have expected.
And I love the rationale for some of the voters saying, oh, I was just going to veto this, and I just wanted my voice heard, but I didn't really want it to pass. And you're voting.
Yeah, all of a sudden they're backpedaling, going the other way. They're like, oh, no, what did we do? we're pulling out of the EU, which, you know what? There's been a lot of stories in Europe from the various nations where they've expressed that they've lost their nationalism by going into the EU. And, I don't think we would ever want to become a part of something like that where we lost our nationalism here in the U.S. We've got our own, even here in Texas, our own state nationalism, if you will. We're so proud to be Texans, and proud to be Americans. It would be hard, I think, for us to think about going into an organization like that where you just kind of become homogenized and you lose that nationalism. You lose your sense of, who you are as a country and as a citizenry. So it's interesting to see if maybe this kind of cascades across Europe.
Well, I mean, just with all the stuff that they're dealing with over there, I could see part of it, but at the same time, I mean, you knew all this going in when you first voted to get into the union.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see anyone. I mean, if you meet someone from Great Britain, I mean, you know it immediately. I mean, that pride is still there, which it should be. I would hope anyone that has pride in where they come from.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, to me, I don't see the loss of your national identity just because you have the same currency as every other country in that area.
Mm-hmm.
But I think your identity comes from more than your currency.
I agree, but still, there's obviously some strong sentiment, over there going on, and I think they certainly have been feeling that over the years. That's what they've been expressing anyway. Well, bringing it on back home, this was a story here in Texas, sad story. A mom, a 42-year-old woman down in the Houston area, shot and killed herself, but not until after she shot and killed her 22-year-old daughter and her 17-year-old daughter. We don't have all the details on this story, really kind of wild and crazy, but as the police showed up, she ended up shooting herself. Sad story there. Staying with the guns, remember Kelly McGillis of Top Gun?
Oh yeah.
She had a stalker break into her house, and she kind of fought her off, in a sort of a way. But she came out on Facebook afterwards and said, "Hey, you know what? She's a gun owner anyway. But she said, you know what? I'm going to go out and get my concealed carry." And so sure enough, she's evidently posted that on Facebook and already joined a class to get her conceal and carry. So good for her, taking care of business.
So every state has the concealed handgun?
No.
Because isn't she in Florida?
What state is she in? That's a good question.
I would say that I thought she was in the Keys or something like that.
Well, I think she has a few places. But evidently that is allowed where she is at.
Okay.
We'll have to check on that. Sam the man, we need that answer ASAP. Hey, this was a funny story. And, Mark Zuckerberg, there's a lot of folks out there who, are a little bit afraid about if their camera can be hacked, on their computer or their laptop. And this has kind of been going around for many, many years. And, because there's been so many stories saying that it can be hacked. And even, your phone, it's a microphone, and your phone's camera can be hacked. But Mark Zuckerberg, he actually covers his camera on his laptop with a piece of tape. And so when this came out in the news that he actually does do this, the FBI director commented on it and says, "You know what? I do too." And the FBI director, in fact, he admitted, he's like, "I didn't even actually think about that." He said, in a story to the NPR, he's like, "You know what? I saw somebody smarter than me do it." He wasn't talking about Zuckerberg, though. He said he saw somebody else do it, and he's like, "That's a great idea." And he's like, he started doing it for his own privacy because he was worried about if his cameras were being accessed. And the reason why people are afraid of that is because, not only can people maybe see what's going on for voyeurism, there's a lot of voyeurs out there, but also because people might want to find things out about you and then, try to get some money out of you if you're doing something wrong, or they see something wrong in your office or your home. So right there, Mark Zuckerberg, if I can talk,
So do you have yours taped?
As a matter of fact, I do. And I have had for years and years, and I don't even remember really why I did. It was just, I guess it was because a story came out and that was possible. And so, yeah.
I have all of mine taped, and I have my mic taped. And if I need to do a webinar where I have to talk through my computer, I just simply take off the tape of my mic. But other than that, I keep it all taped up and even have it blacked out.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing I did learn, though, was the mic. I had never had my mic taped up. I only had just the camera taped up. But if Zuckerberg tapes up his mic, well, maybe I should too.
Best practice, if you're not using it, unplug it and put it up.
Right. Oh, and I always try to unhook it from the internet because I was always worried about it getting hacked, because they say about all those zombie computers, your computer can get hacked and it can get used while, you're in bed at night. And so I try to unhook it from the internet as a good practice.
Yeah,
but
definitely unplug your microphone as often as you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hackers are out there.
They are. And so that was interesting. The FBI director said, "Yeah, I do it too." And I learned it from somebody else. Hilarious. Hey, folks, by the way, it's Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga. Hey, guess what? We're going to take a short break. Come on back in a few. With decades of experience, the Rocky Martin Supreme Lending Team will work to close your home loan in 30 days or less. With access to the most competitive interest rates, the most financing options, and the most access to down payment assistance programs, the Rocky Martin team won't be beating service to you for all your mortgage needs, including purchase and refinance. Trust RockyMartin.com and his team for their reliable and fast loan process. Go to RockyMartin.com or call 972-772-1866 today.
For housing lender, NMLS ID number 21173167330, Horizon Road, Suite B, Heath, Texas 75032.
Folks, it's Mike Kruizinga here with Inside Real Estate Sports Entertainment on 570 AM KLIF. Did you know that virtually all of us will experience a fall in the bathtub at some point in our life? Well, statistically, it's true, and as we get older, a fall in the bathtub can spell disaster, as we just can't recover the same as we did in our younger years. Don't let something as silly and preventable as a bathtub fall put an end to all your special plans you have lined up for your golden years. Invest in a Hydrojet walk-in bathtub. Made in the USA and with the lowest step in the industry, Hydrojet walk-in tubs has your best interest at heart. With no commission sales staff or huge warehouse overhead, they build and sell direct to you, saving you thousands of dollars over their competitors. Call Randy, my friend and owner of Hydrojet Walk-in Tubs at 855-980-8827 or go to hydrojetwalkintubs.com. You'll be able to speak with Randy directly, and make sure to mention you heard about it on the radio. And for you veterans out there, there's a grant available for you to cover the majority of the cost of a walk-in tub, making it darn near free. Call Randy at 855-980-8827 or go to hydrojetwalkintubs.com today.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey folks, we are back. It's Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga, your local DFW Realtor. Hey folks, we're going to get into some talk with our good friend Richard Tonic over at Goosehead Insurance. By the way, you can reach him anytime, anywhere at 817-286-2002, 817-286-2002. You can give Richard a shout. Highly recommend, getting with him and shopping all your insurance. And, of course, the website also, richardtagency.com, richardtagency.com. And if you want to talk to us right here, right now, live, 888-787-KLIF, 888-787-KLIF. Richard, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm excellent. And, by the way, we got that information. Where does Kelly McGillis live? North Carolina. Since you put me on the spot. And you know what? That wasn't in the story, that I pulled. I missed that part.
Oh, it's definitely a concealed state. Definitely concealed state.
There we go. Now we got that info. So, hey, well, let's get into some insurance talk. You got my girlfriend, Lisa, some quotes the other day. And this is just a prime example, real live, real world example, folks. You're going to end up saving her, I think it was about $600, $700 a year. I looked at the policy. I'm like, wait a second, this price is up. And then I was like, oh, this is for the full year, not the 6 months. And it was.
And one other thing, and you and I were going back on emails, but I try to lock the rates in for as long as I can, because everyone knows every 6 months your auto insurance is going to try and raise your rates. So if I can cut out one of those times when they're going to raise the rates for you, I'm going to do that for you. Because like I always say, I don't work for an insurance company. I work for my customers and to make sure that they have the best policy at the best rate.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so doing that quote, it was like I told you, saving her money's not going to be an issue whatsoever. It's just about how much does she want to save?
How much do you want to save? Yeah, and she's going to be saving about $50 a month, and same exact policy, same exact coverages. I was like, wow, and I knew she was a little bit high on her policy, and that's just a prime example right there. That's real live, real world. I mean, saving $50 a month, that's pretty huge.
I wish everyone in my life would save me $50 per month on all my bills. I mean, it'd be a pretty great life if they all would.
Yeah. Now, if we could just save that $50, we have such a problem spending in this world instead of saving.
Well, that's the reason that you want to save, so you can spend more, right?
Save more, spend more. Isn't that a jingle somewhere? Save more, spend more at some store conglomerate? I think it is. Well,
if not, it will be soon.
It will be soon. Yes.
But. And thank you for bringing that up. That's one of the things I like talking about is, excuse me.
How dare you cough on air?
I know. What I do is I specialize in property casualty, home, auto, life. That's all I deal with. And with having over 20 different carriers, it's hard to keep track of who does what kind of coverages, what is covered in the base policies and what's not. So these agents that are doing auto, home, life, investments, and all this other stuff, honestly, I don't know how they do it. And the one thing that I was telling my wife yesterday when we talked about it, it's like, I don't want to do it. I don't think it's right for my customers because it takes my focus away from what's important to you. The reason that you're calling me is Auto, Home, and Life.
Yeah.
And going in there and getting the best policies, I have to have all the information available. And so going in there and taking care of those quotes and making sure that I'm offering you the right policy for you. And it's more on the home side because, like I was telling you, the auto side, I mean, you can match auto policies identically from one to the next because with autos being able to travel across state lines, there has to be that uniform kind of quote, or not quotes, but coverages that travels from one state to the next. And so with that being said, it's really focusing on the home aspect. And I compared it to going to WebMD and self-diagnosing myself. I was going to die tomorrow. It was amazing that every time I diagnosed myself, I absolutely had the worst possible disease there was, and I had a very short time to live.
Yeah, doctors and hospitals dream.
But
come on in.
And that's what people do with insurance.
Yeah.
With the absence of knowledge, all you really have to go by is price, right? And so everyone's going to go low price. Well, low price isn't always the answer. Yes, I want to save everybody money. Absolutely. But the first thing that comes first is the policy.
Yeah, good policy.
Yes.
That matches their needs.
Exactly. Because it doesn't matter how much you save every year. If when you need it, it's not there for you, saving that money doesn't do you any good.
No. And there's plenty of discount insurance agents, insurance agencies out there. This is not what we're talking about because we're not just looking to get a liability card for your car here.
No.
We're looking for a quality policy, whether it's home, auto, life, toys, whatever the case may be, but at a good, fair price. And only you have the ability to go and shop the 20-plus A-rated companies behind the scenes, most of which these are companies that the average consumer cannot go to. And as we've said it before, why go to State Farm and stay in the State Farm box? Why go to Allstate and stay in the Allstate box? You want to shop them, great, shop them. But guess what? You can do that, on your own system with all the companies behind the scenes.
Exactly. And if you go to a website and you fill out that compare now and all that stuff, you're going to get agent after agent after agent calling you because they shop it out. And so when they shop it out to those different companies have access to your information. When I shop somebody, I don't put all their contact information in. In fact, I'm very stingy on the amount of contact information that I put out there because I don't want my information out there, and I'm not going to put anyone else's until I know that you're going to move forward, and then I have to give that particular carrier your information, and then we move forward.
Right.
But going out there and putting your contact information out with a bunch of different companies, I'm not going to do that. Like I said, I don't want my privacy, or I don't want a bunch of phone calls coming my way.
Right.
And I'm not going to be the responsible one for having it go to someone else's.
Yeah, and we get enough calls and spams and everything else as it is anyway.
Oh, it's amazing how many calls I get and from old insurance companies, because just like I shop my customers, I shop myself. And so every year I come in, and when my policy is about to renew, I shop it again. And the company I left last year is calling me, wanting me back. Well, you should have gave me the rate that I wanted and needed last year, and then I would have stayed with you.
Right.
But we'll look at you again next year, and then
Exactly. Folks, and we talked about this a little bit last week. If you've got loyalty to one particular company, we talked about, my dad in particular, who had been with State Farm forever, when we know he could save money. Look, folks, just because your parents were with a particular company, their grandparents were with a particular company, things have changed. The landscape has changed. And, if you're just into paying more money than you need to because you think it's a hassle to switch over, let's just take a homeowner's policy, and let's just say, somebody's paying $2,500 and they really ought to only be paying maybe $1,250, half of that. Let's just say they're saving $1,000 a year. Let's just go 5 years. It's $5,000. What if it was 10 years? That's $10,000 that they'd be saving. And maybe that, in the bank or invested wisely turns into other monies, whatever the case may be. Maybe it's an extra vacation for you and your family, whatever the case may be, but it's more money in your pocket is the bottom line.
Exactly.
And it, the thing about homeowners insurance is it hits you every month in your mortgage, in your escrows. So if you're saving an extra $100 a month, your mortgage payment just went down $100.
And I had a friend that called me up, and his insurance, not his insurance, but his mortgage went up $150. And he was like, what the heck is going on? And I was like, well, everything with your mortgage is consistent and this is before he was a customer, everything with your mortgage is consistent except for your taxes and your insurance. So one of those things went up.
Right.
And he was like, well, I think my insurance just renewed. And I was like, well, your insurance definitely went up. You might have to look at your taxes also, but just about all that $150 was completely insurance. They went up that much, and it was just, saving him $1,500 on his home insurance policy was no problem whatsoever, and it was a better policy.
Yeah, and I think it's part of our, just part of us, as people, is we're so busy with our lives, and it's easier for us to just pay it. We just go along with it and we pay it until we get tired of it. But we may not get tired of it until 5 or 10 years down the line. Meanwhile, we've wasted all this money. Folks, if you get your new statement, if you're at renewal and you see your mortgage payment has gone up and you're like, oh, wow, what's going on here? Well, you need to give Richard a call. You need to shop this out. You could drop your mortgage payment significantly just by talking to Richard, probably getting a better policy. You may not even have the all-peril policy. Your water coverage may be inferior.
Limited.
Very limited. Most damage, is water-based damage. And most of you, if you're just with, ABC insurance, well, it's probably inferior.
Well, like I've said before, I have a few policies that cover absolutely every type of water damage, except for, of course, flood, but that's a different policy within itself. But just it's funny, this past week, most of the people that came over to my agency, not only did I offer them a better policy at a better price, but all of them talked about the service and giving them or being able to do for them, doing things that their other agents wouldn't do for them.
Yeah.
It just helps also.
Yeah, it's the personal touch. There's no doubt about that. Hey, folks, we've been talking with Richard Tonica over at Goosehead Insurance. Hey, touch base with him for all of your insurance needs, unless you're just into paying more money for an inferior policy. And who's really into that? And you want that personal touch that Richard can provide you. He's right here in the DFW area, in the heart of the DFW area in Arlington. Hey, his phone number is 817-286-2002, 817-286-2002. The website, richardtagency.com, richardtagency.com. Folks, come on back. We're going to take a short break. See you in a few.
Living in the DFW area, expansive clay soil and extreme weather conditions play havoc on homes' foundation. But thankfully, you can turn to Perma-Pure Foundation Repair of Texas, who has successfully repaired over 20,000 properties and counting in the DFW area. With the most trusted, tried and true foundation repair methods, trust the professional staff of Perma-Pure Foundation Repair to take care of your property, and most repairs are backed by a lifetime transferable warranty. Mention Inside Real Estate Radio when calling Perma-Pure at 214-637-1444 or when booking online at permapure.com for your Inside Real Estate Radio discount.
With over 3.5 million square feet and 5 DFW locations, Ideal Floors has you covered for all your flooring needs. Whether you're looking for carpet, tile, laminate, wood, or vinyl plank, Ideal Floors has you covered. And with their price match guarantee and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, they are the absolute best in DFW for all your flooring needs. Call Kevin Hamus, the owner of Ideal Floors, at 214-789-0422 or go to idealfloors.com for all your flooring needs. Far from the shores of home, 2 African-American U.S. Army privates fight for their lives on the battlefronts of World War II. The first Black War correspondents fight to cover the perspective of the black soldier. The novel A Private War, it weaves all this and more into an epic World War II era story of friendship, conflict, religion, and redemption. Get a copy of Private War, a novel by Perry Cockrell today, now available on Amazon.com, and tune in regularly to Inside Real Estate Sundays 8 to 9 a.m. to hear Perry Cockrell, attorney at law, as he provides expert analysis of the latest and greatest in legal news.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
It's Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga. Guess who I got right here live in studio with me? It's Randy Addington of Hydrojet Walk-In Tubs. The website hydrojetwalkintubs.com. Randy, what's going on over there?
Good morning, Mike.
Hey, so all right, Hydrojet Walk-In Tubs. Let's get just down to the nuts and bolts, the basics of this. What the heck is a hydrojet anyway?
Well, when I was doing my due diligence and research on getting into the walk-in tub industry several years ago, I noticed that you can get anything from a soaker tub, which is just, getting wet, or you can get one that's loaded up with all kinds of bells and whistles. And I become really intrigued with the water and jet action, what they call hydrotherapy. So I decided to name our company Hydrojet Walk-In Tubs because 99% of all the tubs we do have there's 10 and 18 water and air jets for a total of 28 in our tub. Wow. That's some serious action right there.
That is serious action. 28 jets.
Yeah. So the hydrotherapy part of our tub, to me, is the only reason to get one. If you just want a tub to soak in, I'm not your man. I do have them, but I'll try to talk you out of it.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, might as well go with the full 28 jet model. Yeah, this thing, and I've always said this before too, that look, folks, this is not just first of all, look, it's a great product. You need it as you move on in life. It's a simple walk-in, walk-out tub. And the hydrotherapy is great, but we're talking about this is great for your muscles. If you're playing golf, you're playing racquetball, you're playing tennis, all kinds of things that you do to lead an active lifestyle, or you're just working in the garden. The muscles get all tightened up, and being able to have that hydrotherapy to loosen you up is pretty huge. And I've started to realize that, I probably need some hydrotherapy myself and a little extra stretching,
Yeah, and I tell you, we call it the hydrojet difference. Experience the hydrojet difference. And by that, what I mean is, what you've got to consider is there are a lot of my competition. There is a huge gap between a soaker tub. You're paying too much for it anyway, but their soaker tub will be $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, and then their other tub would be 19 or 20 because of all the accessories. So people, for cost reasons, they're just talking about mobility issues, so they go with the less expensive one. Because with us, our tubs price is where we make our margins, our profit. We don't make anything on the shipping, the installation, or the accessories. So to get a soaker tub from me is only about $900 less than my hydrojet tub. Why would you, for $900 savings, forfeit the tax deduction of making it a medical tub? Doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense at all. And your full model is less than most of the competition's soaker tub.
That's right.
So they're trying to charge you $10,000 for a soaker tub. Your full model is that or less, depending on if it's installed or uninstalled. But if it's installed, it's less than that. And it's the full deal, the 28 jets of power.
Yeah, exactly. And check this out. This is not me talking. This is actual doctors that have said this. And I'm not making any medical claims here on the radio, but I am going to say that in one treatment, one treatment, hydrotherapy, that's the water and the air jets running at the same time. That's what hydrotherapy is. After 5 minutes, your blood pressure and pulse rates start to drop. After 10 minutes, your circulation improves in your hands and feet. After 15 minutes, your muscles are relaxed, and after 20 minutes, aches and pains will experience a temporary decrease in severity. Then if you go on to 3 treatments and 5 treatments and 10 and 20, your immune system improves. You get tension, emotional, physical. I know of people that have got off. I'm not making medical claims here, but I know of people that have gotten off of blood pressure, cholesterol medicine. It's helped them with their fibromyalgia, because the more you do it, and we recommend that you at least spend 20 minutes in this tub 3 times a week. And you can do, I know people that do it twice a day because they love it. It's like having a hot tub in your bathroom.
Yeah, it really is. I've got a hot tub at my house, out in the backyard by the pool, and I swear by it. I really do. Gets my lower back loosened up, gets my calves, my legs loosened up, and I swear by it. And if I could get one in the bathtub, then in the bathroom, well, heck, that would just be gold.
Yes, and people don't wake up in the morning and look over at the wife or the husband and say, honey, call around and see if we can find us one of them walk-in tubs today. It's usually there has to be a need for it.
Right.
But I've even had customers tell me this, seniors, they know they're frugal. They know how to manage their checkbook. They know how to squeeze a nickel and get a dime. They've been raised that way. I love their generation. And one of the things they tell me all the time is, man, I see what the cost of assisted living is. I see what the cost of skilled nursing facility is. And your tub be a drop in the bucket, because days 21 through 100 in a nursing home, you have a copay, whether you like it or not, of $100 a day. That's $8,000. And you've lost your independence and your dignity.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, back in the day, they had these commercials called Fram oil filter commercials. And it was like, you can pay me now or you can pay me later. Well, that's kind of how I look at the walk-in tub industry. Now, to pay $15,000, $20,000, that's ridiculous.
Yes.
But to get a good product for a fair price, it's really silly not to do it when you're going to end up giving it away to a nursing home or assisted living facility somewhere down the road. So give us a call sometime. We'll help you out.
Yeah, there's just so many benefits to it, not only the hydrotherapy that we talked about, but just life in general. You want to ensure as you move forward in life, and we're all going to, fall. And the thing is, folks, as you age, you just can't rebound from a fall like you did when you were younger. You just can't. And the area where you fall all the time is in the bathroom. Just get it taken care of now before it happens, because if you do it after it happens, you're going to lose 6 months or a year. Or guess what, folks? You could be in that percentage point that Randy's talked about in other shows, where that fall costs you your life. That fall costs you your mobility in general, and you don't want that to happen. Great price point, great product. Generally half the price of the competition, better product, made in the USA. We've gone through all that before. It's really a no-brainer, folks. It really is. The website is hydrojetwalkintubs.com, hydrojetwalkintubs.com. Phone number 855-980-8827. You can talk to Randy or his wife, Sheila, and they're going to get you all taken care of. Highly recommend it. Folks, another great segment here with Randy. Inside Real Estate, folks, with Mike Kruizinga. We'll be back in a few.
With decades of experience, the Rocky Martin Supreme Lending Team will work to close your home loan in 30 days or less. With access to the most competitive interest rates, the most financing options, and the most access to down payment assistance programs, the Rocky Martin team won't be beating service to you for all your mortgage needs, including purchase and refinance. Trust RockyMartin.com and his team for their reliable and fast loan process. Go to RockyMartin.com or call 972-772-1866 today.
For housing lender, NMLS ID number 211731, 6730 Horizon Road, Suite B, Heath, Texas 75032.
The Richard Tonica Insurance Agency in Arlington has nearly unlimited resources when it comes to getting you the best insurance rates and policies for home, auto, and more. As part of the Goosehead Insurance brand, you, the consumer, have the power of choice through the Richard Tonica Insurance Agency network. Richard can quote over 20 A-rated companies to find the best fit for you, the best policy at the best price. Call Richard today at 817-286-2002. It's the Richard Tonica Goosehead Insurance Agency, 817-286-2002.
Raise your hand if you think you know what identity theft is. Just kidding. This is a radio commercial. We can't tell if your hand is up. But we can tell you that if you think identity theft is when someone adds charges to your credit card, you're only partially right. Identity theft is when someone pretends to be you, to open new accounts in your name, or any number of other bad things. That's where LifeLock can help. We use proprietary technology to detect and alert you to a whole range of identity threats. And if you have a problem, our U.S.-based team of specialists will work to fix it. You'll get more protection with LifeLock than you get from free credit monitoring alone. Obviously, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock is the best identity theft protection available. Join LifeLock right now and get a special 15% discount off your first year. Visit LifeLock.com and use promo code 15OFF. That's 15 off to take advantage of an incredible 15% discount off your first year. Act now. Offer ends July 3rd. Go to LifeLock.com and enter promo code 15OFF. LifeLock.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey folks, we are back. Inside Real Estate. Mike Kruizinga, your host. Website, InsideRealEstateRadio.com. InsideRealEstateRadio.com. Folks, hey, you can catch all of our previous episodes on the website. You can connect with all of our partners. You can bounce over to our YouTube page. We've got our Twitter feed. We've got the Facebook. And what I really like is the Pinterest page, because you can actually hit all of the stories that we talk about during headlines and all the other things that we talk about during the show. There's a link to all those stories to other pages on the Pinterest page. So highly recommend checking that one out. And then, of course, if you go onto the YouTube, you can catch the independent segments as part of the show as well. So, but you can connect to all of that jazz through InsideRealEstateRadio.com. Folks, time to talk mortgage with Terry Wagner over at Supreme Lending Rockwall. Website, RockyMartin.com, Rocky with an IE, RockyMartin.com. Phone number we can always reach Terry is 866-607-5667, 866-607-5667. Terry, how you doing?
Good morning, Mike. I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good.
Good.
Hey, so we had a story here where one of my clients whom I've worked with for quite a while, they came to me with a Chase pre-approval letter.
Yes.
And we get a contract finally, and then, they're looking in Carrollton, tough place to find anything, and we finally win one.
Right.
And 2 weeks into the contract, the Chase loan officer abandons my client. And, bam, we get it over to you to try to save it, and we're in the process of working on that. But, folks, this just, Chase, big bank, but how many times have I had the big banks fail our clients?
Right.
All the time.
Well, and that one transaction is why today I wanted to talk about why our listeners should call us at Supreme Lending. Because of the level of customer service that we provide to all of our customers. Yeah. Not just the ones that you refer to us, that we're not selective. We provide customer service across the board.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was one of the reasons I thought that's what I want to talk about today. Yeah. Because you and I and everyone else, we're out there in the marketplace, and I think because I'm in customer service, and that's what I consider myself, as a customer service rep.
Sure.
I kind of expect that back, and I don't get it, and it's frustrating because we know the level of customer service that we provide, and that's frustrating. Yeah. But anyway, that's another show.
It is. And trust me, I feel your pain all the time.
That's right. So I just kind of wanted to bring to people today what we can do for them that possibly other lenders won't be able to do for them. But first, I wanted to, if we've got anybody that's got questions for us this morning, I would like for them to call in. I want to talk to folks on the radio today, answer any questions that they have. So they can call us at 888-787-KLIF. That's 5543. And if they call in today and they've got a contract and they're ready to move forward and they just don't know what lender they want to use, we'll pay for their appraisal. So
very nice.
Isn't that kind of nice?
That's super
Giving
nice.
them something. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, money in the pocket.
That's right. And those
Love
appraisals are not cheap anymore.
No, they are not.
No. Okay. So here's what you get when you come to Supreme Lending as opposed to someone else. I don't work 9 to 5. My family doesn't like that. I hear about it all the time, but I don't work 9 to 5. I work Saturdays, I work Sundays, I work evenings. If I'm out and I need to run home to do a pre-qualification letter, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to take care of the borrower first.
Right.
Okay. So we're available to take applications, to pull credit, to provide the pre-qualification letters when you guys need them, not just 9 to 5.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, because our industry is not, bankers' hours 9 to 5. Even though y'all are in banking, it's not like that.
No.
We're up at all hours. I mean, I'm getting text messages up to 9 o'clock. The other night, I was like, okay, it's after 10. I'm not responding any longer.
Yeah, I kind of cut it off at 10 too.
It's a little late,
Yeah.
but that's what we do.
That's what we do. Yeah, absolutely. But another couple of things that's really cool, kind of unique to Supreme Lending, is that we've been recognized in a couple of magazines for things that we've accomplished. We are a top 25 tech-savvy lender for several years running now. And what that means is just that. We have the technology that some other lenders don't. Mm-hmm. We stay ahead of that. Our owner, Scott Everett, he stays ahead of all of the technology for us, and he does an awesome job. So that allows us to be able to receive those awards and to take care of our customers in the manner that needs to be taken care of, because there's lots of stuff happening out there, and he keeps all of your information safe and secure.
Right. So
that's important.
And there's a lot of misinformation out there, and we say it all the time. Just go straight to Terry to get the info.
That's right. That's right. We are Mortgage Executive Magazine ranked us number 22 on the top 100 mortgage companies in America. We are recognized as a top lender for 2015 for the Seth Bond program. We've talked about that many times.
We have. Great program.
It is a great program, and we are one of their top lenders. Supreme Lending is. And then we've got lots of programs. We kind of try to think outside the box, just like this one loan that we're talking about that came from Chase. So I'm trying to think outside the box. What can we do to make this loan fit in with what's going to work?
Right.
So lots of programs. Kind of wanted to touch on a few of those. We do the conventional, we do the FHA, the VA, the USDA. We do purchases, we do refinances, both rate and term, cash out. We do primary residency, we do investment property, we do second homes, first-time home buyers, not first-time home buyers, you name it. Mm-hmm. Fixed, ARMs, although we don't have a lot of call for ARMs anymore, but we have those products if that's what you need. And then of course we do all the bond programs, and everything is automated, which kind of makes it a little easier. The old days where we'd have to print out the documents and I'd have to go and meet you, or you'd have to come into our office. That's not necessary anymore. Although I love meeting my customers, mm-hmm. and I try to at some point throughout the transaction go and meet them.
Sure.
But it's not absolutely necessary. We can do everything over the internet. You can e-sign all your disclosures, email, fax, all that good stuff is available to us.
Yeah, and although that we can do everything automatedly, you can upload docs and all that type of stuff, folks, Terry's right here locally. She knows what's going on in the market and what you need here in the market. So don't be fooled that just because we've got all those capabilities, tech savvy, versus, going with somebody out of state, some 800 number. Richard and I have talked about 800 numbers, and you want somebody local that knows what's going on here locally and all the programs that you have available.
Right.
It's kind of a no-brainer.
And again, I do like meeting my customers at some point, because, I like our slogan, and I guess I identify this really well with Supreme Lending, is we want to make you our customer for life. So we don't want this just to be one and out and you're done.
Right.
And you're going to go on to someone else the next time you have to buy or refinance. We want you to come back to Supreme Lending. So our effort is to make you a customer for life from the very beginning.
Absolutely.
But one other thing that I think kind of sets us apart is we are able to close a loan faster than some of these other lenders. Some of the big box lenders, oh my Lord, they can take 60, 90 days to close a loan.
Yeah.
If everything falls into place. Now, this is not every loan, but we can close a loan in a couple of weeks if we have to.
Right.
It's been done. We've done it many times. And then, oh my Lord, my office staff. We have such an awesome office staff. They take care of everything. We bring the customers in, we get all the documentation, pass it off to my processing department, and then on to underwriting. My processing department, and I think that you'll recognize this as well, we keep you and everyone in the transaction completely notified all the way through the transaction,
right? Which
doesn't happen. Just like this one transaction with Chase, 2 weeks in, you were looking for an appraisal.
Yeah, I was absolutely. I mean, he probably forgot about the file. I don't know what, but I'm looking for an update on the appraisal, and then a day later he's like, I don't think we can do this file, and there's no real explanation or anything. There's no phone call. He didn't pick up the phone, call me. Hey, Mike, I'm sorry. This doesn't fit into our guidelines, whatever the case may be. Pretty much nothing, and that's a big, Chase is a big bank,
right?
And don't get me wrong, they're good, blah blah blah. But when it comes to getting things done and done right, you guys really do it right, and you keep us informed, which is huge. Folks, we go out, we get you a house, we go through all the process of negotiating it, doing the contract paperwork, working with the title company, et cetera, et cetera. But then once all that's done, it is in your lender's hands, and you just do not understand, especially if you're a first-time buyer out there, how important picking the right lender is to getting your deal done.
Right. I talked to a guy yesterday, and he had already been pre-qualified by the Rocket, and he after talking with me for just 5 minutes, he was oh my God, you have given me so much information in 5 minutes, and I talked with them for a while, and I didn't get any of this information.
Right.
So information is key. Information is very important when you're purchasing your house. I like to not just take your loan from a different lender. I like to educate you on what we're doing. Some of it may not make sense to you as a consumer, but that's my job to make sense out of all of it for you and to walk you through the process and to make it as painless as possible. And I think my office staff really helps with that.
Yeah, no, I think you guys do an amazing job on that. And, there's other companies out there you can just hit online. And look, folks, I know we try to get things online, get things done easy, quick, and we think it's all going to be great. When you're buying a house, I mean, it's not like you're going online on Amazon.com and buying something. I mean,
right, pair of shoes.
You can't just look it up and see, the picture looks good, and, this seems to be fine. Okay, I'll, boom, order.
Right.
You're not ordering a house online. You're not ordering a home loan online. Put your big boy, big girl pants on, pick up the phone, talk to Terry.
Right.
And guess what? She's going to give you all kinds of information that you need.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I just to kind of finish up, and I don't know whether this will go across over the radio here, but I have a mortgage app that you can add on your phone that we would love for you to call us, and I'll give you the information on adding that mortgage app because it is so useful. You can apply right there on your smartphone or on your tablet. You can share the information. There's a calculator on there because everybody likes to get online and kind of play with the numbers a little bit, and I think that's awesome. But it's an awesome mortgage calculator for you to use as well, and I think that a lot of folks would find great value in that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hugely important when you're out shopping for homes.
Right.
Definitely hook that up. And like we talked earlier in the segment with Richard about folks and their homeowners insurance policies, if you haven't shopped that in around a while. Folks, if you're not going to get your house on the market, if you're staying put where you are, and a lot of you are, and
right.
we have a real shortage of inventory here in DFW. If you're thinking about selling, guess what? You're probably going to make a nice little bundle on it. So give me a call about that. But if you're going to stay put and you're fine where you're at, another 5 years, whatever the case may be, you probably need to refinance. Take advantage of the rates and give Terry a call about that as well.
Right. I was looking last night on the internet on just last few years mortgage interest rates. We're still at amazing interest rates. So if you've got an interest rate over 4.5%, 5%, you absolutely need to call and refinance. Give us a call, especially if you're planning on staying in the property, like you said, for at least another 5 to 7 years. Yeah. We want to make sure, and we'll do those numbers for you, but we want to make sure that you're going to recoup any costs that you're going to have when it comes to your savings. But we'll work all those numbers out, and if it doesn't make sense, we'll tell you that too.
Yeah, and and a lot of people really buttoned down when the crash happened in 2008, and it's it's been 8 years,
right?
But people are still just now coming out a little bit, but those people that are staying put in that house haven't really done anything since then. Well, look, if you bought your house back then, 2006, 2007, interest rates were different back then.
They were.
Even a few years ago, different now. You're going to do way better if you get with Terry now, and it's worth refinancing, now, just because the rates are that good. So give Terry a call. By the way, she's at 866-607-5667. You can connect to her at rockymartin.com, Rocky with an IE. Just call her. I always say just call. Pick up the phone. Terry is fun to talk to, and she's amazing at what she does. 866-607-5667. Folks, hey, great segment with Terry, and hey, we'll see you next week. We will be here for the 3rd Independence Day weekend. Have a great week. See you next week, folks.
Attention professional sales reps, what does your future look like right now? Let me tell you what it might look like selling for some of the most recognizable radio stations in Dallas-Fort Worth. It's exciting, it's meeting new people, it's prospecting, it's creating a market plan for a customer and making it work. It's potentially very lucrative. It's taking your future into your own hands. Interested? Send me your resume. Richard.lane@cumulus.com. That's Richard.lane@cumulus.com. Cumulus is a drug-free workplace and an equal opportunity employer.
With over 3.5 million square feet and 5 DFW locations, Ideal Floors has you covered for all your flooring needs. Whether you're looking for carpet, tile, laminate, wood, or vinyl plank, Ideal Floors has you covered. And with their price match guarantee and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, they are the absolute best in DFW for all your flooring needs. Call Kevin Hamus, the owner of Ideal Floors, at 214-789-0422 or go to idealfloors.com for all your flooring needs. Neither the hosts nor the guests or contributors of the show Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga are attorneys, CPAs, tax advisors, or investment advisors, and are not providing legal advice during the course of the show. If you need professional legal advice or services in any of those categories, please seek the appropriate professional. The host is a licensed real estate agent in Texas with the Chris Arnold Premier Realty Brokerage, a fair housing broker and member of the MLS.